सबकी आवाज म्यूट हो गई थी आपने भी
तू तो यही अपने घर पे। हाँ तो वो
Hello. Hi, guys. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, you are audible.
हाँ आशीष बोलिए.
Thank you very much for getting me here.
हाँ बेटा बोलो बोलो
Ashish sir,
आशीष.
Ashish sir, how are you?
I'm good. How are you, sir?
I'm fine. I'm fine. Kindly give us 5 minutes, and then we'll be starting in like 5 minutes.
Yeah, I'm fine. Take your time.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
और बेटे आशीष कैसे हो? बढ़िया.
Hi, Arvind, sir. I'm good. How are you?
आई एम फाइन बेटे. लॉन्ग टाइम.
Yes, sir. It's almost 10, 11 years.
Yes, yes, exactly.
Okay, I would like to request everyone to kindly keep your mic on mute status. We are about to start the event. So a very warm good morning to all of you. Welcome to this international webinar on requirement of software industries. I would like to take this honor to extend my warm welcome to our Honorable Vice Chancellor Sir and Patron for IFTM University Alumni Association, IUAA, Professor MP Pandey Sir, Registrar and Co-Patron, Professor Sanjeev Agarwal Sir, Pro-Vice Chancellor and Chairperson for this webinar, Professor Rahul Kumar Mishra Sir, Controller of Examinations and President of IUAA, Dr. Anuj Shrivastava Sir, Mr. Ashish Kumar, Senior Global Consultant, Support Consultant, Software AG, Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. The convener of this event, Dr. Devendra Singh, Organizing Secretary, Dr. Arvind Shukla, coordinators, and everyone present here. Welcome, everyone. Today, I am feeling extremely happy and proud as we are having with us Mr. Ashish Kumar. He is an alumnus of IFTM University, BTech IT 2006-10 batch, and currently doing wonders in IT industries. Welcome, sir.
Thank you.
Mr. Ashish has have a total of 11 years of work experience in software service and product-based industry. Initially, he started his career with Cognizant Technology Solutions as a senior development and worked in various technologies and at different locations like Chennai, Pune, Gurgaon. After that, he joined Software AG Malaysia as a global support consultant. Currently, he is working with the same organization as a senior consultant. Mr. Ashish also got the opportunities to work and done many new technologies with Software AG, like integration, IoT, STEM analytics. He also visited Germany for 1 month and learned IoT concepts from the core team, which includes device integration, tenant management, data analytics, machine learning, data visualizations. After working for 5 years in software development up to the position of team leader, now he is specialized in troubleshooting issues and helping the customer technologically for web methods and IoT platform. I would like to request every one of you to give a warm welcome to Mr. Ashish. Welcome, sir.
Thank you very much, sir, for having me
Uh,
here.
without without wasting any more further time, I would like to hand over the session to Mr. Ashish. All yours, sir. Kindly guide the students. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much for this warm welcome. I'm very happy to joining back to my college, guys. Actually, I spent almost 4 years there from 2006 to 2010, and I enjoyed. I can remember most of the faces like uh, Manish Pandey sir, Arvind sir, because I can see all these faces in front of me right now. Uh, so I start working in Cognizant as already told you, and now I'm working in uh, Software AG. It's a product based company, and I'm working on technologies like IoT integration and all these things. So I have around 11 years of experience where I learned how exactly the software industry is working. So it would be good for the students who already joined here, so that they can take some advantage from my experience, and I would like to share. So Basically, I would like to make this session as interactive as possible, so that they can ask questions, they can understand what exactly happening in industry, and what kind of skills they need to acquire before going into the industry. So let's give some brief introduction, like what exactly is happening, and then we will open this session for question answers. So in my experience right now, software industry is actually uh, changing very rapidly, and it was not like in the initial phase when I joined Cognizant. Most of the industry was working on services, like big clients were giving their projects for service in companies like Cognizant, TCS, Infosys, and thousand more companies in India. They were providing their services to customers. They were developing based on customer requirements. But now the software industry has been totally changed. It's going on the product based solutions, where dedicated supports can be provided. Their use case can be given to the customer based on their requirements. So it, I cannot give you the technical details here because it would not be possible, and I think you would not be able to understand. So let's give the overall abstract view, like how the software industry is running right now. Um, so in product based companies, most of the big clients are right now facing problems like the flexibility they have with their softwares. So these softwares uh, cannot be built and run on the fly. They need to be tested uh, before giving to the customer. So the big clients are not having time to adapt these kind of things very rapidly. So they are going back to product based companies and asking them to provide the solutions they need. So in this umbrella, product based companies are providing softwares, service based companies are supporting them, and consulting companies are providing help which specific software is required for them. So if this kind of industry is happening, then what kind of knowledge and skills students need before going to the software industry? So in my perspective, uh, the students uh, who are ready to join software industry, they need to acquire basic knowledge in software development, like what kind of uh, uh, currently, like we have many technologies in cloud, IoT, in data analytics. But I have seen many students are confused, like which they need to learn first and how they can create their base. So these challenges they already have, which they need to identify based on their interest and opportunities nearby them. Then they need to identify which specific stream they need to opt, and then they need to generate a confidence, like uh, whatever is required we can learn, we can grow, and then would be ready to, like, whatever opportunities come across in our path, we would be ready to provide the services to this industry. So if this kind of mindset students have, then definitely they will easily survive in this industry. So uh, and apart from this, cus- like we are working in a global environment where mm, customers are coming from the different countries, from different backgrounds, and they have their different needs. So as a Indian, if we are able to understand the culture of other peoples, like how exactly they are behaving, how how they treat softwares, like what their requirements are, if we are able to understand these things, then it would be very easy for us to adapt their uh, their needs, and then maybe we can perform in these fields. So uh, that is what I have right now. So it would be good if someone from the students can ask questions, and based on the questions, I will try to answer, and I'll try to explore like what their interests are, what exactly their mindset is. Then I can go forward. So anyone from students? Or if students are not interested, maybe teachers can ask something. Maybe it would be
Okay, sir. I'll start with a question. Can you please guide the students regarding various like technologies like we are having currently in cloud computing? Because I guess cloud is very emerging field right now, and there are a lot of jobs in cloud computing. So
Mhm.
the students would get easily if they do any kind of certification in that, I guess they can be easily employable, I guess. So it will be
Yeah.
great if you guide them about various certification courses in that.
So basically, cloud is a combination of two things: the infrastructure as a service and uh, software as a service. So initially, like AWS, Google Cloud, and Azure, these companies are providing basic services which called cloud infrastructure as a service. And on these services, other companies, like many companies in the world, are providing their software uh, as, as a service of software as a service. So it is up to the students like which stream they need to opt first. So as a basic requirement, AWS is very famous right nowadays. If they can do some certification like AWS basics, is AWS architecture, it would be helpful for them to understand like how exactly this cloud industry is working. So apart from these things, now new trend has been started in which most of the companies are providing their solution on cloud. Like in our company, we have IoT platform and integration platforms. These platforms are on cloud, like they are supported on various cloud solutions like Azure, AWS, Alibaba Cloud. Many Indian cloud companies are also there. So companies are providing their services on cloud on subscription basis. So client can subscribe specific service based on their requirement, and then they can easily use the service with less time. Like in the previous paradigms, uh, customer need to wait for their software for at least 1 year or 2 years, but now it can happen within a month. So that is the change which is happening due to the cloud services. So any other questions you have regarding cloud or any other thing?
Like, sir, as a student, if someone is like wishing to start their career in cloud computing,
Hmm.
so they can directly opt for some kind of certification, or the basic would be enough, or
Like
what should be
AWS,
done?
as I said, basic AWS certification would be helpful. But
Hmm,
before doing the certification, they need to do some uh, classes. Online classes are available, documents are available for AWS. So they need to read it, they need to go through the mock test first, and then they can get the certification. So the
that's fine.
AWS certification would be the basic, and it's a must to have thing if somebody is going want to go into the cloud industry.
Thank you,
Google
sir.
and Azure are also providing these certificates.
Yes, yes.
Yes, Ashish, can you please tell about IoT's requirements and challenges and any certification course regarding it?
Okay, uh, from the students perspective, uh, IoT is going to be a boom. Like most of the jobs are going to be uh, happen in IoT, because IoT now is a combination of everything. Like all the things which we have around us can be connected to internet. If things are going to connected with internet, then they are going to generate a huge data, And if the huge data would be generated, then we need to have data analytics, machine learning, correct visualization tools. So I'm talking about the abstract domains which are going to be generated due to IoT. So if somebody want to go in IoT, like if some students want to go in IoT, then they need to understand what exactly IoT word is having, what their expectation is, and we have like many solutions in market right now. Google is also having, Azure is having their IoT solutions, Microsoft is having their IoT solution, IBM is also having, Software AG is having one Cumulocity IoT solution, which is leader in right now because it's a 10-11 years old product. It was a Nokia project that time. Now it's under Software AG. So if any student want to learn IoT, then they can go search on Google uh, Cumulocity IoT. They can register and get a free tenant to understand how exactly the IoT is working. So in IoT, what you need to do, you need to register your devices, and there can be heterogeneous of type of devices are available. So basic thing, the smartphone. You can connect your smartphone with the platform. Then you can see like what kind of data this device is sending. So there are modules where you can go and check like what kind of data is there. Then you can try to create your own data analytics rules. Based on these rules, you can create alerts, your dashboards, and later if you are more interested, you can write some scripts in machine learning and uh, various sample projects you can create. So this service is freely available. Any student can utilize this. So if you want, I will share a link also in the uh, in the in the chat later. But you can search Software AG Cumulocity IoT, and then you will definitely find a link.
Hello, sir. Sir, can you please tell me about Android developing and careers in Android developer using Kotlin language?
Using which language?
Kotlin.
Kotlin.
Yes, sir.
So in my perspective right now, I'm not dealing in mobile development, but a it was a good career in in last time, like in 5 years 6 years back. But now there is a lot of competition in market if you go, because already many developers are there which are working from last 10 years or 12 years. So it would be very tough for students to tap into the mobile development market. So basically mobile development is rapidly changing because if you see each and every day new applications are coming in market for everything. So the manual development has been stopped now. So every company want to prefer have the platforms. These platform can develop their application based on their requirements. So if anybody want to go in mobile development, then they need to like understand how exactly the APIs are working, how exactly the database is working, because ultimately these the mobile applications are accessing these APIs and data from the servers. And then any language like Android, iOS, um, uh, o- these language can be learned and you can go into the industry. And then based on the company's requirement, then they will teach you like which language they want to develop their applications. So in my perspective, if you want to go in mobile development, then Android and iOS um, would be good because they have very extensive experience in developing mobile applications.
Hello,
Ashish,
Ashish.
as a fresher, like from IFT University, what student have to do to search a job
So in okay,
in a
let
current
let
scenario, basically in a current
let's
scenario?
let's let me share my experience, like what I did. So when I was in IFTM, I learned Java in my third year, and then in final year I selected for army. So there was a deviation in my mind in which field I need to go. But from my own internal call, I was not ready to go in army because whatever effort I have placed, they are going to be vanished. So I learned like how exactly software industry is working, how exactly the core components in computer is working, like database, Java, DA, all these things I learned in detail. Then if you have the basic foundation strong, then you will go into the industry, and then you'll start getting calls for interviews. Then you need to uh, just give whatever you have, the knowledge you have. If you have sufficient knowledge and eager to learn, then most of the company will prefer to hire you. So initially, if I give some 5 points like what freshers need to do, the first thing would be they need to make their base strong, like in whatever domain they are studying, they need to be perfectly strong in their basic concepts. Then they need to understand what exactly industry is requiring. So like an abstract view they should have in their mind. They should have a good confidence, like whatever they have learned is sufficient, and they are ready to serve in the industry. Then they should have a good communication skills. Communication skills means not like you can speak good English. It should have the real and right contact with you, content with you. Once you will go in interview, then you need to impress the guy who is in front of you, like whatever knowledge I have, it is with me, and I'm eager to learn and understand what exactly your company is doing. And then I will give my 100%. If you are able to like if you are able to give all these 5 points in front of the interviewer, then most probably they will hire you, because they need someone who can learn, who can understand how exactly their company is working, and they should have the basic foundation strong.
Okay, Ashish, there is one question from student side in chat window.
Okay, sir.
So listen, question is, if students is saying, I want to join any MNC, that should I do? I mean, there any chance to work directly with them?
Okay, so the placement process of MNC companies are very simple. If so what MNC actually is doing, they are hiring um, talent from various colleges. They are not restricting them to big college only. So they are doing um, like hiring in on the city basis. They are making models, nodal centers, and they are requesting each and everyone to apply. And they have some like basic uh, filtration criteria, like students should have at least for 60% above in their engineering or in any stream, like in graduation. uh, they should be from a reputed university or college, not reputed, at least recognized university or college. They can sit into the first round, like I mean uh, technical filtration round they used to say, where they can understand like what kind of talent we had right now, and what criteria we need to apply. So then they will filter like 10 or 20% uh, workforce they will capture from there, and then they will apply different uh, hiring approaches like group discussions, technical discussions, HR discussions, so that they can easily understand like who is able to work with us. So if students are able to tap this question, like what industry is requiring, then they can easily apply. Each and every company, like all the MNCs, like I'm talking about Wipro, Cognizant, TCS, all these service-based companies are very helpful for students. Once you would be hired, they will give you the training. They will give you the environment where you will learn. They will give you the opportunities where you can understand what exactly is happening in software industry and how exactly the clients are behaving. So before this, you just need to show your talent to acquiring knowledge and the basic understanding you have about your stream, and then they will easily have. And I have experienced it. All these companies are not bound to any specific university or colleges. They just want to search right talent for their requirements. So if anybody want to have a job in MNC, then they just need to go on their website, try to understand what company is doing and what are the services and products they are providing. Am I able to fit myself into this? If they feel yes, then they can go to their career portal and apply with their resume. That's it. And then the company's job will start. If they feel okay that the particular student is required, then they will definitely hire you.
And sir,
Yeah,
sir, what about
if
the
any
product-based
student
company?
want to ask a question, they can directly ask. It is free. Yes. If any student want to ask, they can directly ask a question.
Yeah, unmute yourself and talk.
Mute yourself and talk.
The students are posting
Sir,
some questions in the chat box.
Yeah.
sir, and what about the product-based companies like Google or Facebook, Amazon?
So what in what context you want to understand? Like
Like
what kind?
I'm gonna be the front-end development.
Content development.
Front-end development.
Front-end developer. Okay. Okay, Nitin. If you want to be a front-end developer, then you need to acquire knowledge about HTML first, then
Yes, sir.
JSP, ASP, all these technologies. Now, then you would be able to create a basic understanding about how exactly the front-end part is happening. Then you can go to the extended level, like in jQuery. You can learn jQuery.
Currently, sir, I am learning the JavaScript and soon.
JavaScript, jQuery, HTML, all these things are basic. If you are able to understand how exactly these technologies are working, then you can go to the next level. But these are the basic foundation you should learn.
Okay, thank you, sir.
So in front end development nowadays, Angular JS is very famous, and many other frameworks are there.
Should I go for the Angular or React?
So it's actually totally dependent on company. If you learn Angular JS now, then you will be restricted to join only the companies who are working on Angular JS. So I would say learn all the things, like basic thing first, then specialize in specific technology, like in Angular JS or in any framework, at least one, and then do not restrict yourself to be a specific to the specific technology, because you are fresher. Go to the company and see on which framework they are working, and then it's up to them, like what they want to do with you.
Okay. So, sir, should I need to learn the DSA or Java for the front end or not? Can I skip that?
Java and what?
Java and DSA, data structure and algorithms for front
Data
end
structure
development.
algorithms are very essential if you want to go in software industry. These are the basic thing. Java, if you want to understand the oops concept, Java is like must. If you learn Java, then only you learn JSP, or you can easily understand JavaScript. So in my understanding, for the students, Java should be a mandatory subject, and it should not be in engineering, it should be in 12th or 11th class now.
So there is a question in the chat box, like student want to ask if C++ is only, like with C++ they can get a job or not.
Yeah, there are plenty of jobs in C++ also, but you should be a very profound player in C++, because C++ are C and C++ most of the time are used in device development, like in device side programming. So jobs are there for C++, but they are very less as compared to other technologies.
One more question, sir. What do you think about full stack developer bootcamp study?
Full stack developer boot. Sorry, I didn't get the whole thing.
Bootcamp.
So
Bootcamp.
what kind of boot camp?
Basic question is, what do you think about full stack developer?
Full stack. Like I would say developer is developer. They need to like understand customer requirement. If specific technology is required, then they need to learn and they need to develop it. That's it. It's like technology doesn't matter.
That's true. So last question was mentioned in chat boxes. Which type of questions are asked in technical and coding rounds?
So as I said earlier, okay, let's try to understand what company need. They need an employee who have basic understanding about technology. They're and they actually uh, thinking about the employees who can the, the they are thinking exactly like they should need to put less efforts to make them employable. So if a specific person already have the basic knowledge, profound basic knowledge, then they would prefer it. So if you go in an interview and you say, okay, so first interviewer will ask, okay, like what subject is your favorite subject? Let's say you say Java. Okay, then they will test you on Java. So if you are saying any subject, then you should have like basic knowledge correct in specific subject. Then they will start inquiring you like what is your understanding level about this subject. And if they found okay that particular person is correct, whatever knowledge area he or she is showing is like is is good for our basic requirements, then they will try to understand like what technological knowledge we need. Then they try to understand like whether this person have any knowledge in this technology. Then they will start asking questions on this specific thing. So I'm giving you the abstract view. If you want to understand like what kind of questions, technological questions companies are asking, you can go and search on Google, like in which year, in which type of interviews, what kind of questions has been asked. You will find the technical questions there. So I think it is not the expected from anyone. Like I would tell you the which kind of questions, technical questions they are asking in specific field.
Yes, any question from student side? Is there any question from student side?
Sir, I have a question. Like, I see that most of the cases, people say that you can learn open source, you can go for the open source project, you can contribute in that. So if I contribute in an open source project, so
Mhm.
it will be helpful for me or not?
Yeah, it will be definitely helpful for you. So first you need to understand like what is your uh, knowledge area, then try to find some open source softwares. GitHub is the best place where you can search all these things. Most of the open source projects are using GitHub and their source code can be found there. If you start contributing, it will definitely help you when you are going to give an interview in a company. You can tell, like, I have contributed in ABC software, and that was my contribution. Like, I have developed this specific class, I have developed this specific component, and yeah, it will definitely help, and it will definitely help to the specific person to understand how exactly the software are working, what kind of um, so in my recommendation, everybody should try at least once to contribute in open source softwares if they really want to be a software developer.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Any question? Is there any question from student side?
One question in the chat box, sir. Machine learning versus AI. Shaviraj Singh.
Okay, so what exactly I need to tell in both are different things, like in artificial intelligence and machine learning.
I guess they just want to be a bit concerned about which field they should choose. Either they should go for machine learning or they should go in the field of artificial intelligence.
So like it is very tough to tell because both the fields have their
Very hard.
own uh, advantage and disadvantage. So I would say rather not focus on like what you want to be. Try to acquire basic knowledge and go into the company, and then you can shape yourself. Like, because if let's suppose if you acquire knowledge and invest your time in ML and you hired, and they start taking they start giving you projects in Java or in C++ or in web development or in database, or maybe they start giving you documentation, then you would be frustrated. And it will happen, definitely it will happen. In once you enter in a company, then you need to start from the base, then you need to shape yourself. So in my perspective, if just need to give the answer, machine learning would be better, because for artificial intelligence, ultimately you need to learn how exactly machines are learning, and most of the companies are nowadays using machine learning components in their softwares. AI is a very big thing, and only the big companies are doing this. So most probably you will not get chance directly in AI. So just want to understand whether I'm too abstract, like I'm not giving the details correctly, because I'm just giving the right thing what I'm feeling in my company or in my surroundings.
I guess it is like the right way to tell the students what exactly they will be doing in the upcoming days when they are moving to the industry for their jobs. Obviously, one cannot study all the technologies at once. One should be very much clear about the basics. And once the basics are clear, technology can be like you can say one can learn technology in a very short span of time if the basics are clear.
Yeah, if the basics are clear. So if first of all the students have only 4 years to cover the half ocean, and for remaining half ocean you have whole life. So I think all the students should focus on their subject, and they are
True.
already too vast. They need to invest a lot of time, energy, and understanding, like how exactly, and do not study to just pass the exams. Try to study for understanding, like how exactly these technologies are working around us.
True. So there's one more question. What is the use of Python in software industry? This is kind of a question. Let me read it for you. It is, so what is the scope of Python in software field?
So in my understanding, Python is very famous scripting language right now. So most of the ops related tools are using Python. So ops like software has been developed, it need to be deployed in customer environment. Their operations job start. For operations job, you need to do automation, like from which file, what kind of files need to be extracted, where need to be placed, what kind of configuration variable these files should have. If they have some test cases, they need to be executed. Once they need to be executed, what should be the result? So all these things need to be uh, automated. So Python is doing very good job to implementing these kind of things. Obviously, Python can be utilized for developing some software components, but most of the time it is utilized in scripting, automation scripting.
There is one more question which is like a most descriptive one. And it is like how to use machine learning tools in Python language. Rajiv Kumar.
So I would say you cannot use machine learning tools in Python. You need to use Python inside machine learning tools because it's a
That's
scripting
true.
language. You can write some script which machine learning tool uh, can provide. So like when you are saying machine learning, so it means you have written a software, and this software is actually providing knowledge to this to themselves. Let's suppose certain events happened in last 1 year. You extracted all these events stored in database. So next time, if same kind of parameters are happening, so from the machine learning scripts, you can identify, okay, that particular event is going to be happen within a time, within that time span, like in 2 hours or 3 hours. So you can take the predictive measures. So in this case, most of the machine learning solution providers are actually doing their project on these parameters. So you can use this Python. Many other scripting languages are there, and I would say each and every uh, software have their own scripting language. So you can use these scripting languages to understand, to extract the data from these tools.
Okay, sir, I have a question. Like, what is the difference between JavaScript and TypeScript? And
JavaScript actually is a client-side scripting where it is actually running on the browser.
sir, TypeScript?
I don't know about TypeScript. I had
Ah, okay,
never
okay.
heard the name, never used it.
Okay, sorry, sir.
Okay, sir. Sir, could you tell us something about your personal experience, like how you got your job in the same organization in you are working right now? Means if I wanna work it with any international organization like yours, how should I apply or how should I search for the same?
Okay, let me reframe this question, because I got this job after working in industry for 5 years. So my experience will definitely not help you. So um, if you want to work in an MNC, like in a product based company, then you should have at least uh, basic knowledge corrected, profound knowledge about this particular company, search history, understand what requirements they have, what career opportunities they are providing in market, apply for this, and then you will definitely get a call. but it is very tough. It's not easy because you will not get time to do all these things because you need to pass your exams also. But if you can do, then definitely you will get a good job in product based company.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Any other question from any student? Yes, there are no further questions, sir. So I would like to thank you very much, sir, for this.
Sorry sir, there is an echo in your voice. Maybe your headphone is not.
I guess there are no further questions for the session, sir. And thank you very much for this wonderful session and your time. I hope you also like enjoyed this session as like being in touch with your college, with your university once again after so many years. And thank you very much, sir, for all your time. And now I would like to request like Manish Ranjan Pandey, sir, for the vote of thanks. Thank you, sir, once again.
Thank you, Harpreet sir. So, Honorable Vice Chancellor and Patron Professor MP Pandey sir, Registrar Professor Sanjeev Agrawal sir, Pro Vice Chancellor and Co-Patron Dr. Rahul Mishra sir, President IUA Professor Anu Srivastava sir, our most valued invited guest Mr. Ashish Kumar, faculty members and students. It is my privilege to have been asked to propose a vote of thanks this occasion. I, on behalf of IFTM University and the entire team of School of Computer Science and Applications, and on my own behalf, extend a very hearty vote of thanks to Speaker Mr. Ashish Kumar for gracing your important work and sharing with us your findings and opinions today. A big thank you to Mr. Ashish Kumar for his efforts toward requirements of software industries. I must mention our deep sense of appreciation for Mr. Ashish Kumar for his explanations of requirement of software industries. I also wish to express my gratitude to Professor Dr. Rahul Mishra sir for providing encouragement at requirement of software industries topic. I also extend thanks to Dr. Arvind Shukla, Organizing Secretary, Dr. Devinder Singh, Convener, Dr. Rakesh Yadav sir, Mr. Harpreet sir, for their enormous cooperation in the organization of this event. Once again, I want to state that we are all most grateful to Speaker Mr. Ashish Kumar. We thank you for being with us. Thank you. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, Manish sir.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
I hope you enjoyed this session, Ashish sir.
Yeah, definitely I enjoyed, and I'm very happy to see the faces back. But
We are too glad and proud, like after meeting you after such a long time.
I just want to give an appreciation to Manish sir. I changed my face in last 10 years. He is looking like same.
Yeah. Thank you. Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Okay, sir. Thanks. Bye.
Okay.
Bye.
Thank you, sir.